Welcome to this crochet elephant tutorial. Today I'll be showing you how to crochet this elephant plushie. Let's get straight into the video. So the materials that you will need are a crochet hook. I'm using a 5mm crochet hook, scissors, a yarn needle, 12mm safety eyes. You will need yarn in weight 6 or whichever yarn you have in the color that you would like to make your elephant, as well as white yarn, which will be used mainly for the ears. And finally, you will need stuffing. So we're going to begin by grabbing our primary color, as well as our crochet hook. And we're going to start off by making a magic ring. So I like to use the 2-chain method to make my magic ring, but you may use whichever method you like. So to do the 2-chain method, I'm going to start off by making a slip knot. And then I'm going to chain 2. And now all of my single crochets for the first round will go into the first chain that I made, and that will act as our magic ring. So for round 1, we'll be doing 5 single crochets into the magic ring. Then for round 2, we're going to do 5 increases, and this will take us up to 10 stitches. An increase is doing 2 single crochets into 1 stitch. I'm now just putting my stitch marker in. I use scrap yarn as my stitch marker. And now from rounds 3 to 5, we are just going to be single crocheting round. So we'll be single crocheting for 3 rounds straight. Once you have completed that, we are just going to leave a small tail, and we can finish off by pulling through. And now you are going to make another leg identical to this one, but you are not going to finish off on the second leg, as we will use it to crochet the body into the legs. So make one more leg, but don't finish off. So once you have your 2 legs completed and you have not finished off on the second one, we just want to make sure that the stitch marker is moved up to the last stitch on the one that you did not finish off on, so the second leg. And now we're going to continue onto the body. So for round 6, we are going to chain 1. So chain 1 from this leg, the second leg. And then we're going to grab our first leg that we made. So we want to go into the opposite side where we did the last stitch on this first leg. You can see there's like a jump down there, but we want to go into the opposite side, and that'll make it even. So we're going to put our hook into the opposite side, into one of the top stitches on the outside. So we'll just put our hook in there, and we're just going to single crochet into that. So we've chained 1 off the second leg, and now we've single crocheted into the first leg. And now we just want to single crochet all the way around the first leg. So when there's like a jump down from the last stitch of the last round to the first stitch of the last round in the first leg, we just continue around as if there's not a jump down. So just single crochet around your first leg. And once we've finished single crocheting around that first leg, we're going to need to single crochet into the chain that we just did before. So we'll just stick our hook into that chain, just like that, and single crochet. And now we're going to single crochet around the second leg. So find the stitch, not the one that the stitch marker is still in, but the one after that, and we're going to single crochet into that. And any holes we have between the legs we can sew up later, but we're just going to single crochet around the second leg. So now for the next round, we are just going to be working around, as it's now one whole connected piece. And for this round, we're going to do 2 increases and then 20 single crochets. So our first increase will go into the other side of the chain that we did in the last round. And then our second increase will go into where we did the first single crochet. So 2 increases and then 20 single crochets, and that'll take us up to 24 stitches. Now for the next 4 rounds, we are just going to be single crocheting around. So from rounds 8 to 11, we'll just single crochet all the way around. Once you have single crocheted for 4 rounds, for the next round we'll be doing 2 single crochets and a decrease times by 6, and this will take us down to 18 stitches. And now for the next round, we'll do single crochet decrease times by 6, and this will take us down to 12 stitches. Now for the final round, we are just going to single crochet all the way around. Once you have completed that round, we can now just leave a small tail and finish off by pulling through. We're just going to add some stuffing to the body. Once you have finished stuffing, we can now move on to the arms. So we're going to grab our yarn and our crochet hook. And for the first round of the arms, we are going to do 5 single crochets into the magic ring. For round 2, we are going to do 5 increases, and that'll take us up to 10 stitches. Now we are going to single crochet round for 5 rounds. So from rounds 3 to 7, we'll just be single crocheting all the way around. Then, once you have done that for 5 rounds, we are now going to finish off by doing 5 decreases. And now we need to leave a bit of a tail for sewing. And we can pull through to finish off. Now you'll need to make another arm exactly like this so that we have 2 arms in total. So go ahead and make your second arm. Once you've made your 2 arms, we can put those aside and move on to the ears. So for the ears, you're going to need both your primary color but also your white yarn. But we'll start off with our primary color. So we are going to begin by doing 6 single crochets into the magic ring. Then for round 2, we are going to do 6 increases, and this will take us up to 12 stitches. Then for round 3, we'll do single crochet increase times by 6, and this will take us up to 18 stitches. For round 4, you'll need to do 2 single crochets and an increase times by 6. For round 5, we're doing 3 single crochets and an increase times by 6, and this will take us up to 30 stitches. Then for round 6, we're just going to single crochet round. For round 7, we're going to do 3 single crochets and a decrease times by 6. And at the end of this round, we're going to switch to white. So once you get up to the last decrease, you're going to yarn over and pull through, and then yarn over and pull through. And then to finish the decrease, you're going to pull through with your white yarn. And now we'll tie the white and the green yarn together. But we're still going to leave this primary color attached, as we'll still need it for sewing, as I'll show you at the end. So for the following round in white, we are going to do 2 single crochets and a decrease times by 6. So once you've completed this round, at this point we're going to leave a tail for the aqua/green yarn. So we're going to leave quite a long tail, as that's actually the yarn that we'll be using to sew the ear onto the head. So we'll leave quite a long tail, and we're just going to cut it about here. And we're going to grab our yarn needle really quickly and put the yarn through the end of the yarn needle. And we are just going to bring this primary color yarn to the outside, so just straight out to where the color changes. And just pull all the green yarn through. And now we don't have to worry about that yarn, it's just on the outside, we can just let it sit there. So for the following round, we are going to do single crochet decrease times by 6, and this will take us down to 12 stitches. now we're just going to flatten this down a little bit. And for the final round, we are going to do 6 decreases before we sew this shut. So once you have done those 6 decreases, we just need to leave a small tail for sewing the top shut. And we're going to finish off by pulling through, and we're going to grab our yarn needle. So to sew this top shut, we're going to go in and out of the front loops only. So we're going to go into the first front loop, and then out of the second front loop, into the next front loop, out of the next front loop, into the following front loop, out of the next front loop, and into the next front loop. And now we can just pull to close that up. And we're just going to bring this yarn tail through to a random point, and then we can just cut it off. So once you have done that, that is your first ear complete. Now you'll need to go ahead and make one more ear. And now you have completed your 2 ears. Thank you for watching part 1 of this elephant tutorial. Part 2 will be linked in the description and above.